Yo, what's up, Green Blood fans? This is Rafa from C Manga, and welcome to the fourth and final part of the Green Blood quadruple chapter review. As I said in the last one, this chapter pretty much summarized the arc for this. It more or less ended here, and I was shocked how quick the arc was for this, because the other one seemed a bit longer. Maybe it was because there was such a long break and we had to wait like nearly half a year for these chapters to come out, but it really did seem kind of quick. But I guess if I'm right, the manga will probably be finished soon, because from what I saw, I think it goes up to 49 chapters, and it looks like in Japan all the volumes have been released. Yeah, we haven't got that many chapters left, so under 20 chapters is left of this series, which is kind of sad, but you know what, short and sweet is usually better, so it keeps the content consistent and more enjoyable to read. So yeah, this arc looks like it's come to an end, and we have Brad and Ned having quite a bit of a discussion in this chapter. It was interesting because once again, like, he's complimented on his horse riding skills by Brad, and he even thanks him because he said, you know, as he even knows if it wasn't for him, none of them would have got out of that alive. And the next part was really enjoyable because it shows how much of a scumbag and evil creep Edward King is. It's like he finds Swallow, and it's like it looks like you got pretty much effed up big time, and he's like, yeah, by those two boys. And you know, what's it? King asks, where's the cattle gone? And he says the black boy and the two brothers have taken them, most likely on their way to Alberline by now, but it's like, next time I'll get them. And King's like, yeah, right. And he's like, yeah, next time. And he lifts the horse's hoof, like makes it lift its hoof and puts it over the swallow's head. And he's like, what are you doing? And then off this, like, yeah, and rest now. And then he crushes his head, like, like no remorse at all. I just thinking this is how he treats these so-called loyal gang members or his friends. It's like they're just tools to him. I could believe it, but I was just thinking that's just so bad, man, that he just crushed his head, not even shot him. But what are you gonna do? This guy is a scumbag. He only cares about money and himself. So that shows what Brad and Luke has got to go up against. And yeah, so Ned, Brad have a bit more of a discussion. Ned is a bit concerned. Is it okay to leave, you know, with the cattle? It's like, aren't you going to get in trouble for it? But Brad's like, I've been a wanted man before. This is no different. And it's like, don't worry about it. And he says, we owe you anyway, because if you tended to Luke's wounds and obviously, you know, helped out in the fight. So it helped, you know, it's basically, you know, payback. We're even now. And Ned says, before he leaves, he told to tell Luke that he was happy Luke came after him. You know, obviously that's probably the first time he's felt accepted by a white person, and you know, someone's generally come and looked after him without any ulterior motives. And he said maybe in 10 to 100 years or in another lifetime they could have been friends, but this lifetime is just a lifetime they can't do it. It's just not possible because of society. And he rides off, and it looked like Luke heard all of this because they showed a little panel of him inside the I can't remember, the stable thing that he's in the back of, lying down. So we see a little monologue now, and it's like Ned has become a famous black gunman, and he can break any wild horse no matter what one it was, and he joined a horse rustling gang, and to do with, what was it, the Emancipation Proclamation. During that time, it was like there was no change, as I said. It was just, you know, false and everything. There was several years of that being enforced, and nothing had changed. So like a system of segregation happened where it was called Jim Crow, and it was basically, you know, like a whole rioting and things like that against it, and there was no change at all for like over, say, more than 100 years. So that's the kind of troubles and hardship black people had to go through before there was any sort of change, over a century before anything changed, because people in the South of America just thought this was how things were supposed to be, like it was the norm to them. So we have a last little bit before the arc ends. Luke and Brad are discussing, And Brad's saying that you could have never changed his mind, and Luke realizes this, and he's like, yeah, I know. And he starts to cry, and he's like, I've just realized it. And there's like a little picture or a panel like of them, Luke riding on a horse, like with Ned. And it was really upsetting because obviously Ned was really, really good friends, obviously, to Luke, even though they only knew each other for a little while. So you could tell they bonded quite quickly. So it was really depressing to see that. But that's the hard times with this. But yeah, I said it was a good round up to the arc. I can't wait for the next few chapters, and said the artwork as usual, and I'm sad to hear that the manga will be ending like in about under 20 chapters, but that's what's good about it. So yeah, if you guys got any comments about the chapter, leave them in below. Any predictions for the next I'd say 2 or 3 arcs, and also leave you a like if you enjoyed the chapter, and subscribe for more content in the channel, and I'll speak to you guys next time.